I've got quite a few patterns for fenders that I use. I always go through it and just pick out the ones that I think will work best for that application and study them and see how they kind of work around. This is very important, how it's going to lay uh, on the tree. I'm kind of particular about the way all that is. This set of fenders right here will have the twist on it. I've got it trimmed down a little bit so it'll cup in a little easier. They have 3-inch brass blevins on it, and it'll be attached at the top with the rivets, 3-inch stirrup leathers. And I'm just checking that out, see how that's going to fit. I think it's going to be just fine for this saddle. That'll really save you a lot of time, and if you choose to do this for a living, it'll make you some money too. Is each time you fit a seat jockey in, and when you take it out and then it dries while it's flat, if you'll draw that off, lay it down on a piece of paper, trace around it, and draw it. Cut it out with your knife right on the line. What I do is I'll draw all the way around it, and then I still come back and have a center line right there, fold it in half, and then I double check my measurements. But cut it so both sides are the same. If you're building a lot of the same kind of saddles, say a lot of Wade saddles, putting the same groundwork in them, using the same seat size, and the groundwork's turning out about the same every time, you can do that process, and you can cut this pattern out, and it will fit in there. It'll save you about a day's time, at least a day. Because when I pull a wet seat jockey out, I wait a day to wet it in the middle to fit it back in. So if you don't, 90% of the time it'll have a breakdown. I want it to be real smooth there, so that's why I let it totally dry out before I wet it in the middle and fit it back in. So that's a little tip that I wanted to give you. Something that works for me on the horn is to take a piece of shap leather and make a pattern, especially on these bigger horns, the wood post ones. And I can wrap that around there and see how that's going to fit, and see if I've got enough material, and that's enough material for this. And then this horn on this saddle will not be, will not have the traditional wrap. I'll come back at the very end and put a mule wrap on it. I need 2 of these pieces, what I call a sandwich piece, and then the top piece. I like the middle piece, what I call the sandwich piece, to be pretty firm, and just the top to be a good quality leather. And it will be smooth, and the bottom of the horn here will be smooth. So I need 2 of these and 1 of these pieces. If you want to cover your horn completely and wrap it, this is what the horn wrap would look like. I should make a shap leather pattern of this. I have for some of my other horn patterns, and that'll give you a little better idea of how it's going to wrap around. But that's what the pattern would look like if you want to do a traditional horn wrap. And here's the pieces for that, the bottom piece and the sandwich middle piece. With my fart cover, or some people might call it a swell cover, I've taken a piece of 4 to 5 ounce shap leather, and it's a little more forgiving than a piece of pattern paper or something, and it gives you a little better idea of how the swell cover, the fork cover will work out. This will have the lip across the front, like all the Wades do, or most of them. We'll talk about this a little bit more. You want at least 1/4 inch to 5/16 overhang. You don't want it to go back so your gullet piece shows. You want that to hang over. That really gives it a good look right there. This is my gullet piece pattern. I always like to set it in there and make sure it's going to have enough material there, and that'll work just fine. That's what the gullet piece looks like.